Good afternoon, everyone. How's everything? Hopefully great. Today's session is about past continuous, or we can have another name, progressive, past progressive tense. If you remember, we said that whenever in English you have progressive or you have continuous, do you remember what should we have? ing. Very good. So don't forget, it's like a rule that we have. Progressive or continuous, it means you are going to have ing in the tense. Perfect, it means you are going to have pp, which is the past participle in the tense. We have three continuous. Do you remember? Present continuous, past continuous, and then we are gonna take, inshallah, future continuous. Okay. Do you remember what we said about the present continuous? It means what? Something that is happening at the time we're speaking. So it means it started but not finished in the present time. It's happening now. Okay, very good. What about the past continuous? What is it? In order to tell you what is it, I want you first to look at these examples to explain for you what is meant by this tense. Okay, let's see if you can get the meaning out of these sentences or not. Okay, if I said, I want you to read the first two sentences. It was 8 o'clock. Yesterday, for example. It was 8 o'clock. I wrote some letters. So do you remember what is wrote? This is which tense? Very good. If you said past simple, you are great. So it was 8 o'clock. I wrote some letters. What does it mean if I said I wrote some letters? Do you remember what's past simple? Yeah, it means something that started and finished completely. Very good. So it means what? This sentence means what? Means at 8 o'clock, I already finished. I stopped writing the letters. I finished writing the letters. Very good. I finished any letter that I was writing. Okay. Let's see the second sentence. It was 8 o'clock. I was writing some letters. So do you see any difference between the second sentence and the first sentence? Do we have any difference between these sentences? Yes. Here, wrote, past simple, but here I have was writing, which is was plus verb ing. Yes, very good. So here it's wrote, past simple, and here was writing. What is it? What does it mean was writing? It means what? It means at 8 o'clock, I finished writing the letters. No, it means I was still sitting writing the letters. Very good. So it means what? It means something started in the past, but not finished at a specific time in the past. Again, in a different way, it means I was in the middle of doing an action, but in the past, not at the present time. It was 8 o'clock. I was writing some letters. This was yesterday, so it's already finished. But for me, at this time, I started before 8, but at 8, I didn't finish. I was still writing. So that's the first use for the past continuous. I was still doing something. I am in the middle of doing an action. So the first use of the past progressive, what is that? To tell a person about an action or an event that's in progress. It was still happening. At some time in the past, I was in the middle of doing an action. This action was in progress, was continuous at some time in the past. Let's see another example to make it easier for you. Okay? Okay, let's read the second one, the second example. Yesterday. So it means this is what past. Tom and Linda went past to the club. They played past simple. I mean, sorry, past simple. Together. They played together. Okay, they started. They started at what? At 10 a.m. So it's past simple as well. And finished because they started and finished at what? At 12 p.m. Very good. So they started. Let's look at this. They started at 10 and they finished at 12, but this is what? This is past, right? Because now this is the present, so this was in the past. Very good. So if I asked you guys at 11:30, what were Tom and Linda doing? What were they doing? So you are gonna tell me what? Can you tell me they finished? No, because they finished at 12. Okay, so they were still playing. So they started, but they didn't finish. So I can say at 11:30, they were playing tennis. So did you get it now? Did you understand this? Very good. If you got it. If you don't get it, I'm gonna explain again. So again, they started now. Okay, now. Okay, what's today? Let's say today is, let's say it's Tuesday. Okay, so what about yesterday? It's what? It's Monday. Very good. So yesterday from 10 to 12, they started at 10 and finished at 12. So at 11:30, they finished? No, they didn't finish playing. So what were they doing? They were still playing. It means it was in progress. They were in the middle of an action, doing an action or an event. So that's the first use for the past continuous or the past progressive, to tell a person about an action or event that's in progress. It was continuous at some time in the past. At this time, it was continuous. It wasn't finished. Okay? Let's see another example to make it easier for you. Okay, number 2. I want you to read these sentences. While I was watching TV, the power went off. So let's look at these sentences again. While I was watching TV, the power went off. What does it mean? What does this sentence mean? So I want you to think and to try to tell me. Okay, I started watching or not? Yes. It's in the past, don't forget. Okay. I started watching, but did I finish? No, I was still watching. What happened while I was watching the TV? The power, the electricity went off. Okay, so everything turned into dark. So the power went off. This is what this action of the power made what? Made an interruption. Made an interruption to the first action, made a stop for the first action. Okay, so that's the second use for the past continuous or past progress. An action interrupted another one. Interrupted, it means عمل مقاطعة يعني. It doesn't mean just stop. مش لازم يبقى وقفه خالص. But it made an interruption. It made an interruption for this. Okay? So an action interrupted another one. So if I said I was watching TV, the power went off. So I was watching TV. This was what I was doing. What happened? The interruption is what the power went off. It made an interruption or a stop for the first action. And don't forget, in the interruption, we express the interruption by past simple. So the verb that made the interruption is in the past simple. Okay? Okay. Let's see the second one. When he arrived, I was cooking. What do you understand? I started cooking before he arrived or not? Before he arrives or not? Yes, I started. But did I finish when he arrived? No, I was in the middle of doing an action. So his arrival made what? His arrival made an interruption. Stopped. Doesn't mean stop like stop cooking. No, I mean it made an interruption for the cooking. Okay? So The verb that makes interruption is in the past simple, don't forget. So number 3, let's see number 3. While she was preparing dinner, he was washing the dishes. While she was preparing dinner, he was washing the dishes. What do you understand from this? Two actions were happening at the same time in the past. We can call them parallel actions. Parallel actions, it means actions happening at the same time but in the past. At the same time I was making dinner, he was washing the dishes. At the same time I started and he started, but I didn't finish and he didn't finish. Okay, so that's number 3. Parallel actions, you can hear the word parallel as well. Parallel actions, or two actions happening at the same time in the past. Yes, we can use the past continuous. I can't tell you that some people are gonna say that while is followed by past continuous and then past simple. That's the main rule for while. While is followed by, this is one of the words that we can use with this tense. While can be used followed by past continuous and past simple, but it's not always, guys, because it can be followed like this. For example, it can be followed by past continuous and past continuous. It means two actions happening at the same time. So it's not a fixed rule, or it's not something that is forever. Okay, it can change. When is the opposite? When is the opposite of while? When he arrived, I was cooking. So when is followed by past simple and then past continuous. But this is not the always rule, but this is not the rule forever. It can change as well. Okay? Very good. So again, what is meant by past progressive or past continuous? It means what? It means an action that is in progress at some time in the past, an action interrupted another one, two actions happening at the same time in the past. Very good. How can I make a sentence in the past continuous? What do you notice here? What do you notice in this color? Was writing, were playing. What do you notice in these tenses? Was plus verb ing or were plus verb ing. If you notice in these verbs. So how can I form this sentence? In this tense, on past continuous or past progressive, was or were plus verb ing. Was or were here is a helping verb. Verb ing here is a main verb. Don't forget, I, he, she, it. The singular takes was. The rest is gonna take were, they, we, and you. Okay? So that's how we can make this tense, was or were plus verb ing, and that's how we use it. An action or event that's in progress at some time in the past, an action interrupted another one, two actions happening at the same time in the past. I got you a picture that can help also. Interrupted actions, like what I was walking home when it started to rain. Parallel action, I was studying while my brother was watching TV. Another one, action before and after time. Last night at 6 p.m. I was eating dinner in the middle of an action. Two extras to start a story. Sometimes when we start a story, to create an atmosphere, we can use it. While I was driving to work yesterday, something happened. For example, the sun was shining and birds were singing, and then I started telling the story. Repeated actions in the past, not in the present. In the present, it's gonna be present simple as a habit, but in the past, they were always fighting, for example. Okay? These are extras. These are not the most important. These are the most important to remember. And was and were plus verb ing, that's how to make the tense. Another note I want you to remember, I already said this before, but I'm gonna repeat it for those who forgot. Whenever I add ing to the verb, don't forget, if the verb ends in E, we drop the E. We drop the E, and then we add the ing. So believe, for example, ing, have ing, live ing, take ing, move ing. Okay? There is one more. CVC words of one syllable words. CVC, like said, plan, run. We double the final consonant before adding the ing. So setting, getting, planning, running, stopping. Okay? An extra note, but it's not the main focus here, but if you have two or more syllable verbs with ending in CVC or with CVC, we can make the double final consonant if the last syllable is stressed. Okay, if the last syllable is, if the stress is on the last syllable, begin, forget, get. Okay, so I stress on the last part. So like beginning, for example. This is not so important for me now, but the first and second, of course, they are so important. Verbs ending in IE. Do you remember what should we do with IE? We change the IE, or we change this IE, two letters into Y. So tie, tying, die, dying, okay, and so on. So these are the rules that we have to remember. One more note I'm gonna repeat as well. I said this in the present continuous, but I'm repeating this because it's past continuous as well. I'm gonna repeat it for the future continuous as well. There are some verbs that don't take the ing form. They don't come in the continuous form. Don't forget this. Do you remember what are these words like what, or these verbs like what? I already sent it before. But to remember, verbs of senses, feel, hear, see, smell, taste, know, forget, like, dislike, love, hate, okay? And these are the others. You already have them. And don't forget, have, while it means own, for example, okay? It doesn't mean forever. Look when it means resemble only. Have when it means possess, okay? Feel when it means think. Find when it means consider. But for example, if look, it means look from the window, no, it can take ing. But look, when I say, for example, she looks like her mother, she is looking, no, in this case I can't use the ing. To have, I have a dog, yes, here have, which means own, okay? But for example, he was having a shower, here have means what, take, okay? If you forgot this or don't understand this, just ask, okay? So like, I like your new haircut, not I am liking. Dislike, she dislikes him, not she's disliking. I love you, not I'm loving. And this is the example that I told you about. I love you now, but I don't say I'm loving, okay? Hate, prefer, want. He wants a new car, not he is wanting, okay? So these are some verbs that don't take the ing form or the continuous form. Very good. Now, if I have a sentence in this tense and I want to change it into negative, how can I change it into negative? It's very easy and very simple because I have here what the helping, which is was or were. So I'm gonna say wasn't or weren't instead of was not, were not, the contraction plus verb ing in this case. Yes or no question, I'm gonna start with the helping, was or were, subject, and then the main verb, which is ing in this case. The WH question, WH word first, and then the helping, was or were, then the subject, and then the main verb, which is the verb ing in this case. Let's see an example to apply this. Okay, it was 8 o'clock. I was writing some letters. Yeah, very good. Now I want to change this sentence into negative. How can you change it? Okay, so was helping, and then I have verb ing. So this is which tense? Past continuous tense or past progressive tense. In negative, it's going to change into wasn't writing. I wasn't writing any letters. And don't forget, some changes into any in the negative form. I can't use some in this case. If I want to make yes or no questions, I'm gonna start with the helping, where you, and then the subject, and then the main verb, which is ing, where you write it in letters at 8 o'clock. So the answer is gonna be the same. Yeah, I was, or no, I wasn't. And as we said before, whenever you are in a conversation where you're writing in the letters at 8 o'clock, you can say no, I wasn't, and just stop like this, or you can add extra information, just telling the person what were you doing at this time. For example, I was watching a movie at 8, not I was writing letters. Okay, so you can say this, or just no, I wasn't. It's okay if you said it like this. If I want to make a yes or no question for some letters, that's something. So we ask using what, WH word, and then we have the helping, what were you, subject, writing, the main verb at 8 o'clock. Okay? As homework, you can try answering these questions from the negative Yes or no question, WH question for the underlined words. One more homework I want you to try to do. Fill in the gaps using the verbs in the past continuous or the past and the past simple. So you are gonna complete it using both tenses as well. Okay? Make the positive and negative. If you have not, you are gonna use the negative. If you have just the verb, it means you are gonna use the positive of this tense. Okay? Okay, let's try to watch this video. I want you to try to listen to what is happening. Okay, so let's watch these videos. It's really nice and it can help you to understand these tense really great or in a perfect way. Okay, so it's a turn.
It was 9 o'clock in the morning. Everybody in the town was doing their own work. But suddenly, a car crashed into a tree. Everybody shared this news with other people, they said. When the accident happened, I was doing my homework. I was playing my guitar. We were having a great party. I was looking around. I was repairing my car. I was waiting for my friend and reading the newspaper. I was working in my office. I was mending the roof. We were learning English. I was playing my flute. I was making a phone call.
Okay, so did you get it, guys? When the accident happened, everyone was doing something at this time. Okay, so it's like the accident interrupted any of these actions. Okay, so that's why the accident itself was in the past simple and the other actions were in the past progressive or past continuous tense. So if the police came and asked you, for example, yesterday at 2, what were you doing? What are you gonna say? Okay, so that's how you think about this tense. Let's watch another video. It's for Anna's videos.
Hello, I'm Guy Newsman with News Channel XYZ. I'm here in Washington, D.C. at the scene of a crime. We are talking with this woman. She saw the crime during her lunch break. It looks like she hurt herself while she was trying to stop the crime. Hello, Unique.
Hi, Guy. I'm Anna.
Anna, what did you see and what happened to your arm?
Guy, I was minding my own business. See, I work over there. I left work to get some lunch. Then suddenly, I heard a woman yelling. She was yelling like this. Help! Help! Two robbers were grabbing her bag. She was hitting them with her umbrella.
Is that when you hurt your arm?
No, at that time, I was not fighting the robbers.
listen.
No, at that time, I was not fighting the robber.
Speak.
So what happened next? They grabbed her bag and ran away. So I grabbed her umbrella and ran after the robbers.
Then that's the time that you hurt your arm?
No, I was yelling, "Stop, robbers! She was yelling, "Hey, come back with my umbrella!"
Were you afraid?
I had no time to be afraid, guys. Well, I had time while I was resting on a bench. I had a lot of time.
Then what happened?
The robbers got on a bus, so I ran after the bus. While I was running, I tripped and fell.
And that's the time that you hurt your arm?
No. While I was lying on the ground, someone stepped on my arm.
Ouch! That's too bad.
Yeah, and they didn't apologize. Well, then the robbers got themselves kicked off the bus. Why? They didn't pay. You've got to pay when you get on a bus. The police came and took them away. Now it's your turn. Listen. While I was running, I tripped and fell.
Speak.
Listen.
And that's when you hurt your arm. Speak.
And that's when you hurt your arm?
No.
Then when did you hurt yourself?
Well, Guy, by this time, I was feeling very hungry. So I went to my office to get a snack. Anna, I'm calling for help right now. Hello. Yes, please come right away. My coworker is stuck in a vending machine.
You hurt your arm in a vending machine buying a bag of chips?
I was really hungry, and the bag was stuck.
Anna. That's all from News Channel XYZ. This is Guy Newsman saying goodbye. Okay, find ourselves another story, guys.
Until next
Okay, hopefully you enjoyed the video and you understood what was happening in this situation and which tenses did you use throughout this. Okay? Okay, now let's have a look at our book. It's book 3, guys. Okay, book 3. Book 3, page 25. Okay? So let's have a look at this. Here, it's a revision on past perfect, but I'm not gonna revise past perfect again. I'm just gonna try to answer these questions related to past continuous this time. We have already taken this before. Use the simple past or past continuous with the verbs in colon A. Now we are gonna take colon A only. That's it. Yes, this one. So it's your homework, guys. I want you to try to complete these sentences using the past simple and the past continuous. A thief break into our house last night while my sister and I pick up pizza for dinner. I shop with some friends yesterday and I lose my keys. I drive around with friends all day on Sunday and I run out of gas on the freeway. I tried to go and visit my parents last night when I get stuck in the elevator in their apartment building. So try to complete these sentences as homework. Past simple and past continuous. Don't forget. Okay, let's see if we have other examples for past continuous. or that's it. I don't think there are a lot of examples here, just this one. Yes, this one only. One more conversation questions. I want you to try to think, what were you thinking about the last minute you brushed your teeth? What were you doing before coming to class today? What was your friend doing the last time you called him or her? What were you doing 10 minutes ago? What were you doing at noon yesterday? Okay, that's it for past continuous. Let's see another one that we can do for the difference between 2 and 4. What's the difference between using 2 and 4? Mostly, we ask ourselves just one question. So we ask ourselves just one question to know what's the difference, or when can I use 2 and 4, or if I can use 2 or 4 in this sentence. 4 is used mostly if this thing that you are talking about is beneficial or good for that person or for that animal or for that thing. Something that is beneficial or good. This is number 1. 2 can be used as a transfer. Transfer, it means you move something from a place to another. You move it from A to B, from A to another place, okay? So it's a type of transfer. Or exchange. Exchange or change of information of something. So I give you, for example, food, and you give me another thing. So it's like an exchange, okay? Let's see how to make it easier for you to understand. I made this lesson. I'm gonna ask myself, this lesson is good or beneficial for me? Yes. It's something that is made to give me information about something, okay, in order to pass the exam, for example. So it's beneficial. I give the pen her. So here I am sitting, for example, in the front, and I want to give the pen to my friend in the back. So I made what? I transferred it from the front to the back, for example. So it's a type of transfer. I passed the sugar. If we are sitting on a table, and for example, Ahmed wanted to have some extra sugar, okay? So he is gonna ask what? I passed him the sugar. So it's in front of me, I passed it to him. So it's a type of transfer. I'm going to talk for you or to you. No, to you. Why? Because when we are talking, it's a type of exchange of information or exchange of ideas, for example. I'll do that favor only to you or for you. So if it's a favor, so it means this is something good for me. So it's for you or beneficial for me. Okay? So now I want you to think. I put a bone my dog, for my dog or to my dog. I go work money. I studied my math quiz yesterday evening. He bought this present you. They are going Germany. So I want you to think and try to tell me, should I use here 2 or 4? Is it something good or beneficial, or it's a type of transfer or exchange? Okay. One more difference we are gonna take today is, what's the difference between using of and the apostrophe s? What's the difference between using these? Both of them show what? Why should we use the apostrophe s or of? For possession. For possession. So let me tell you how possession. For example, the leg of the chair is broken, or the chair's leg is broken. The leg of the chair. So the chair has a leg. So the chair, yeah, the possession for the what? For the chair. The chair's leg. So the leg of the chair. The same. Yeah. So when can I use of and when can I use apostrophe s? In English, you can use both. It's okay. And if both of them are good, are okay. The leg of the chair is broken or the chair's leg is broken. Because in English you can't use 2 nouns following each other without separation. So I can say the chair leg, 2 nouns following each other. It's a mistake. The leg chair, no, it's a mistake, 2 nouns. So I should use of or I should use apostrophe s. So what's the difference between them? Simply we have a small difference. We use of for objects. What does mean objects? Things that are not alive. anything that doesn't have a soul is not alive. For apostrophe S, we use it for persons, group of people, organizations, countries, animals, and stuff like that. Okay? So let's go back to this. The leg of the chair is broken, or the chair's leg is broken. Which one is more common or preferred? So one of them is a mistake? No, both are okay. Both are correct. But which one is more common for native? Native speakers use what more? They use for objects, because the chair is not human and it's an object, something that is not alive, we use in this case. So this is more common for native speakers. It's used a lot, it's preferred, it's more common. Okay, let's see the other example. My uncle's house is really nice, or the house of my uncle is really nice. Can I say my uncle house just without apostrophe S? No, mistake, because I have two nouns following each other. The house, my uncle, of course not. It's a mistake because two nouns following each other. So my uncle's house is really nice, or the house of my uncle is really nice. Which one is correct? I have to think. My uncle, yeah, my uncle is a person or is something? No, a person. So I'm gonna use apostrophe S. That's more common or more preferred for native speakers. Okay. So the second one, the house of my uncle is really nice, is a mistake? No, it's correct. But it's not used a lot. It's not used a lot by native speakers, okay? So that's the difference between of and apostrophe S. I want to give you another difference today. So what's the difference between someone, anyone, no one? What's the difference between these words? A lot of my students get confused. When can I use someone or anyone or no one? I'll tell you something, guys, to make it easier for you. I'm gonna explain words that start with some, someone, somebody, something, somewhere. They all start with what? Some. And words starting with any, anyone, anybody, anything, anywhere. No, no one, nobody, nothing, nowhere. I'm gonna explain these words. First, I want you to remember. What to remember? Someone and somebody are the same. Anyone and anybody are the same. No one and nobody are the same. They are synonyms in meaning. I can use both of them. But someone is used a lot or is more common than somebody. So when you speak to a person, he is gonna say someone. Someone is, someone was. He's not gonna say somebody a lot. The same. Anyone is more common than anybody. No one is more common than nobody, but both of them are the same. Okay? That's the first thing that I want you to remember. Number two, any word that start with some, you can use it in positive sentences. Positive sentences. Okay? Words that start with any can be used in negative sentences and questions. Negative sentences and questions. Words that start with no, words that start with no can be used in positive sentences, but what? But when there is no single item of something, when it's zero. So no is like some positive sentences, but positive sentences, which means no single item of something, zero. Let's see how can we make this as an example to make you understand more. So I met someone at the party. I used the first word. I used them by order. Someone, something, somewhere. Okay. So I met someone at the party. I need to eat something. I want to go somewhere. What do you notice in all these sentences? All of them are what? Positive. All of them are positive. Positive sentences. There is no negative. I met someone. I need to eat something. I want to go somewhere. Very good. If you want to change these sentences into negative, you are going to change someone into what? Someone into anyone, something into anything, somewhere into anywhere, because it's negative. Let's see how. The first one, I met someone at the party. I didn't meet anyone at the party. Why did you use anyone? Because I have here didn't, which is negative. I need to eat something. I don't, so it's negative here. I don't need anything to eat, so anything. I want to go somewhere. I don't want to go anywhere because it's negative. So whenever you have negative, we use anyone or anything or anywhere. Very good. The same sentences, these sentences, if I'm gonna change it into a question, how can I change this into question? Let's see. Do you remember what can I use in the question? Any as well. So anyone or anything or anywhere, negative and the question. So let's see the question. Did you meet anyone at the party? Can I say, did you meet someone at the party? Can I say, do you need something to eat? So mostly we use what into the question, any. So did you meet anyone instead of someone? Do you need anything instead of something? Do you want to go anywhere instead of someone? Good? Okay, let's move on. Number 3, do you remember number 3? No, no one, nobody, nothing, nowhere. It's the same like some, we use it in positive, but it means 0. What do you mean by means 0? Let's see the example. There is no one here. So it means what? It means the place is empty. 0 person. So for example, if you open the door of a room and you found one student in the class, you are gonna say what? There is someone in the class, or there is someone here. Again, if you open the door of the class and there was no student, nobody came till now, so you're gonna say what? There is no one here. So it means what? 0, empty place. There is nothing in the box. If you open the box and you found nothing, so 0. There is nowhere to go. For example, if you feel lonely and you don't find any place or anywhere to go, you're gonna say what? There is nowhere to go. It means 0 place to go to. Okay, so again, I'm gonna repeat this. So someone, somebody, something, somewhere, positive sentence. The same like no one, nobody, nothing, nowhere. Positive sentences, but there is no single item. It's 0. Anyone, anybody, anything, anywhere, negative and questions. Very good. There is one more note I want you to pay attention to, guys. Words like each, everyone, everybody, anyone, someone, anybody, somebody, no one, always takes singular verb. Singular verb, guys, not plural. Not because of the translation, everyone, الكل. I can't, each one, كل شخص. I don't put the verb into plural, I put it into singular. Let's see the example. Each of the students is, you're gonna tell me students, yes, but I have here what? Each. So each is treated like singular, so each of the students is responsible. Do you know anyone who has a dog? Not who have, because I have anyone. Somebody, not or, no, somebody is waiting for you. So always takes what? Singular verb. Don't forget, please, because some of my students get confused about this also. Okay, now I want you to try to read these sentences and choose the right answer. Is at the door. Can you check who it is, please? Someone or anyone or no one? I have never met someone, anyone, no one like you before. Will you marry me? Will you marry me? Oh no, I forgot my sunglasses. Somewhere, anywhere, nowhere. Just try to read the sentences and try to use the right sentence or the right word for this. The last thing that you're gonna do is the last homework. Page 19 to 24 in book 3, worksheet 3. You are gonna find it like the last 3 pages in the workbook or the worksheet. Just try to answer, but past continuous only, guys, okay? Thank you for today. Hopefully you enjoyed our session today and you understood everything. Thank you and see you next time, inshallah.